Hi everyone, and welcome back to another podcast episode. So on today's episode, what we're going to chat about is how to build an unstoppable fitness community. So this is something me and Chris are really big on, and I think it's one of the biggest reasons as to why we had so much success very early on, is we are very good at building community and making people feel a part of something much bigger than just themselves. And I think that just for, you know, everyone that is listening to get as much value as possible from it, we'll take you right back to the beginning of like the bootcamp times, because that's kind of where we learned our trade in this, and really where we, I suppose, built our first solid community.
Yeah, I remember the conversation when we were going to start the bootcamp, and we said it's not going to be a bootcamp. It's going to be like an outdoor fitness place called the bootcamp, but we're going to make it different. We're going to focus on community. We're going to make it something way more than just people showing up, working hard, and then they just leave and go away again. So I think right for the get-go, because I remember that conversation in the gym, you and I both agreed it was going to be something much, much more than just a boot camp. You were looking at that way, and I think that's when we decided, probably by default as well. We didn't know what we were going to do then. We just decided it's going to be a community, but we had no idea what that was then. I think we started running a couple of test sessions in the gym, remember, in the studio. And we decided to do some games and have some fun, and then we're like, right, okay, this is now what we need to do, because that gave me the insight, like visually, to go, there's something special here happening with these games, people high-fiving and stuff like that. And I think that's where we had the idea for community, but we had no idea what it was going to look like. We had to try and kind of move into it as we went along with testing experience. Yeah,
I think one of the big things, especially in the fitness community, is you can feel very alone, and you can feel that you're always trying by yourself. And I think that's a big reason as why a lot of people fail, is because they are always doing that and they've not really got anyone in their corner making it easier for them. They're not in the right environment, you know, and it's not really set up for them to win. And I think what we wanted to build with the bootcamp is we wanted to create an environment where anyone could come and feel safe, they could feel welcome, they could feel like everything was taken care of them, and they just had to do their best. And as you say, with the high fives and these other elements, people felt like they were part of something much bigger than just themselves. And that then continued on, and I suppose is where things continued, you know, to grow from there.
Well, we developed, remember, we used to run the monthly seminars as well.
Yeah.
I think that was a big part of it, because we used to do the seminars every single month, just for anybody listening, and we did different topics. It was about mindset, it was about nutrition, but not like you should be eating this, you should be eating that. It was like understanding why they're eating certain foods, why they're not changed over the last 15 years. But it wasn't even the seminar as such itself in terms of what we're teaching them. It was bringing 50, 60 people together in a room and then educating them further than being just a boot camp. But then they're involved in the community as well, because we'd ask them to share their wins, ask them to share what they've did, ask them what's went well, what they've struggled with, and then other people would feed back and say, God, I struggle with that as well, Sarah, so I tried this, I tried that. And I think that's where the community just started busting from that moment.
Yeah.
For the seminars.
I think that's something that everyone listening can learn from as well, is like the more touch points you have with your clients and your members out with the allocated sessions, and that is where community is going to start to grow and where people are going to feel like they're part of it. You know, so little things that we did, as Chris mentioned there, we did different seminars. I remember doing like some walks, like members started like creating little walking groups together, and they were meeting each other, they were going for coffees, they were discussing different things, and it was all because they knew each other better because of the seminars and other things. And then to the point where over time we started creating different elements to that as well, of going on like excursions and doing activities. And I think one of the first things we did, remember we went to that Inflate place?
Oh, it was brilliant.
And it was like an indoor inflatable place, and we had lots of our bootcamp members there, and we just had a laugh, and we got a big team photo and stuff. But people always remember that, you know, and that's not something that you would ever get as part of a gym.
Yeah.
Because you are just there, you know, and in many cases you are just another number. You know, you're not part of anything. You're just, again, doing it on your own. So if you can get people feeling good and important, I think that's a big part of it too, make people feel important, then they're going to want to tell their friends as well, and then that community grows and grows.
Yeah, because the truth is, not a lot of people want to be exercising, not a lot of people want to be, they're not excited about, oh my God, I'm going to go to the gym, it's going to be amazing, I'm going to love it. It's not exciting. Most people hate it. The most normal people, a lot of PTs listening to this will think that's maybe not true, but because they love training, because they love everything about fitness, but most normal people don't. Mm-hmm. So if you can create an environment where they actually want to show up because they've met new friends and it's more social, then that's where it's going to take place, because nobody enjoys it. I don't even enjoy training.
No.
I mean, I just do it because I know I need to.
Yeah.
So I think another big thing, mate, is the WhatsApp group.
Mm.
I think Facebook groups used to be bigger back in the day, but I think WhatsApp groups are more easy for people to communicate in. And that's where we started the big massive WhatsApp group for the boot camp in the gym and all that. But let's talk about how that's changed what we did as well, because I always go back to kind of Laura in that situation where she became almost like the unwritten leader of the group outside of us, and all the knowledge that we kind of passed to her and she took on board, she would then pass down to new members who came on and were a bit nervous and a bit scared. So I think that's the big one as well.
Yeah, I think definitely, like, as part of that is give your best members more responsibility in the group. And that's exactly what we did. So when we had this WhatsApp group, say there was 80 members in it, we had maybe a core 3 or 4 or 5 that had been with us from day one.
Yep.
They knew everything inside out. They knew kind of all the session times. They knew how we structured things, obviously where to go, what to bring. Everything was there. And we would always, you know, let's say we added a new member, we'd always welcome them in. And anyone that replied saying, welcome to the group, you're going to love it, we would always thank them for it. Or we'd separately say, really appreciate that, because, you know, these people are coming into it and they are quite anxious. So they are
Yep.
feeling a little bit unsure, and it goes a long way. So then that then makes them feel good, makes them feel important, makes them feel something, again, bigger than just being a member.
Yep.
So they want to help more and more and more. So it got to the point where, rather than me and Chris, and again, a lot of coaches will be able to relate to this, you feel like you're, you know, repeating yourself all the time. You're always repeating yourself. You're always saying where you're going. You're always saying this and what to bring. But what started to happen very quickly was, when a new member would go in, questions would get asked and they would answer them for us.
Yeah.
So we were thinking, wait a minute, we don't need to get pestered all the time by individual people asking the same questions. Why don't you just ask the question in the group chat and someone will answer it for you? If you don't get the answer you're looking for, then we can obviously jump in. And then that's where the community grows even more. People start asking better questions and having discussions and sharing links and sharing videos and tips and recipes. And and we were like, this is amazing. Like, what is actually happening here? And I think when you create a safe space and you create an environment that allows people to express themselves and be themselves and not feel like it's a stupid question, people just start to build a community for you.
Yeah.
You know, so if you can create the right environment, the community grows for you. So that's why the environment's so important.
Yeah. When you were talking to me, I was thinking about the challenges we used to do. Remember, we'd get them to do random funny stuff and they'd video it and then they'd put it in. Like we did the squat challenge.
Yeah.
They had to do 7 days, I think it was 5 days of the week. They had to do like 20 squats in the most random place in Dunfermline. So we were going like shopping, and then I was doing like 20 squats in Tesco. And then like recording it. And
someone
then
was standing on their car, I remember, at one
standing
point.
in the car at the big roundabout at Dunfermline as well, remember?
Yeah.
The girl done it there. And then they would put all their videos in every night, and then everyone would be laughing and just having a good time. Another good one was with the dogs, remember? People putting their dogs in and all that. Like just wee things like that, because people love their pets, right? So it's actually quite a simple psychology. If you love your dog or your cat or whatever you've got, and then we decide to go, like, everybody share their kind of wee pets, gives a picture of your pet today and all that. They love that, mate. So in their head, it's a fitness community, shop and trade and all that, but there's this other aspect where it's like, oh man, I can share like my dog pictures, my cat pictures. If you've got kids, and everybody's like, oh my God, your dog's so cute, blah, blah, blah. And psychology wise, mate, they're just loving being part of the quote unquote community that we've built. Do you know what I mean? So there's lots of wee different things you could do. The fitness challenges as well we used to do.
Yeah, they were
step
brilliant.
ones, like
one of the best ones we did was
Route 66, was it? Or
no, it was
O'Groats
John O'Groats to Land's End, and it was this. Again, I can't remember exactly, but it was X amount of million steps, and we said collectively as a group, say we've got 80 people in this group, there's, you know, everyone needs to average X amount. So again, they felt like they were part of something bigger than themselves, which was what we were trying to do all along. So they would send in their steps, and we were quite clever. We'd make like a graphic that showed like how far they were along that journey. So say they got to like, I can't remember the geography of it, but say they got to like Aberdeen after day 2, you know, we would write a little story about like, right, the team have popped into the pub, so-and-so's hurt their leg, so so-and-so's nursing it, and blah, blah, blah. It just created this whole narrative of it. And it was just a total laugh. And again, we shared it on socials and people saw like, this is something so much more than just the average boot camp that I see all the time. And yeah, it just grew and grew from there. And I think we started doing different challenges. I even remember in lockdown doing I did like a walk and talk. So it was like a live walk. And obviously that was the time where you couldn't really like go walks with anyone else. So we were trying to again make people feel like they were still doing something together. So I would go a walk and go live, and people would go a walk themselves as well in different areas.
Yep.
And we would ask questions and we'd have discussions. And other tips for coaches listening, we did like quite a fun one where members would go a walk and they'd take a photo of an area and you had to try and guess where they were walking.
Yeah.
So just little things like that. It's like, make it like this group that's just this fun thing to be a part of. And if it's focused on fun and things like that, like the results are going to come because people get very addicted. One of the things that we've found since day one is how much people use the word, I'm addicted to these sessions. You know, I'm addicted to being part of this group, and these are people just to remember for clarity, just to, you know, people understand. These aren't people that typically have liked fitness ever before in their life.
Never.
These are people that have like always hated it to now saying they're addicted to it. And it's just based off what we've told you here so far.
But again, it comes back to, excuse me, all humans want to be part of something. Think about in school, it doesn't change. Obviously your mindset changes, you mature a bit. But in school, you always wanted to be part of like
The cool group.
Even the cool group, any group.
Aye,
A group
any
would
group.
relate to you a wee bit and had similar likes to what you like. And then you get older, you might get your first job, and you're like, oh, I'm the new person. And somebody's really nice to you. And then you start kind of hanging about with them. You feel better about that when you go home. You're like, oh, I've made a wee pal in work. Like, that's really important to people. Then you get a bit older and you probably get your husband or whatever, like, even if you're a PT, your partner, and then all you're doing is working all the time. All you're doing is literally just working, going home. But then you find this community, and then there's that thing where you find something again, because we found through all the communities we've built, we're in Rivaled X, like even recently we've done our 90-day meetup.
Yeah.
And our 90-day meetups don't involve like intense work, like intense coaching, intense teaching, intense lessons, because we do that anyway, we do that weekly. Our meetups involve like a bit of goal setting at the beginning. We'll find out what everybody wants to do in the next 90 days. Then we're going to have some fun. We're going to eat food, do a bit of bowling, maybe golf, like do stuff like that and have a laugh.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, recently the guys have said, like, we love the meetups because of those reasons. They feel part of a team. Now, they say they feel part of a team. We meet up once every 90 days and then we're on Zoom all the time.
Yeah.
These guys feel part of a team. That's just community.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would they say we feel part of a team?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a close-knit group. If we didn't meet up, it would just be an online presence, which is fine. It works. But when we meet up, it's like you can feel the power of the community, like when we're all together.
Yeah. And other ways as well for people listening in is like some of the things that work for us is we'll do like team events as well. So like with going back to the boot camp, we would do like little sports days and groups in that as well. So we'd have people in different groups, like a yellow team, a green team, a red team, a blue team. So you got to very quickly know your team and encourage each other, and we would do like leaderboards and points and stuff. Like if you came to a session, you got a point for the team. If you tracked your calories, you got a point. If you won the game, you got 3 points. Like there was lots of different metrics to it, but that again got people to very quickly meet each other and communicate and chat. And then we would do other different, obviously, challenges like we've mentioned too. But even if you're doing online, like if you're an online coach just now, there's still so many ways that you can build community without meeting up in person. Yeah. And it's by like buddying up people, doing more group sessions. Like, you know, lots of people talk about like breakout rooms and stuff like that. You can still do things like that with current clients and getting them sharing aspects and doing Q&As and getting live speakers in and webinars and interactive webinars. There's loads that you can do. Yeah,
there'll be online coaches listening to this who, and they'll know this themselves, they've got a higher turnover rate of clients. And that for me shows a sign of just a wee bit of a lack of community. There's probably more you could be doing to make people feel part of the team and get to know each other a bit better, because they'll stay longer. It's like people with jobs they don't like. A lot of them stick the jobs longer because they like the people in the jobs.
Yeah.
So it actually makes it a lot easier, makes life easier for them. It's the same with the online businesses, because they do have, facts show, the highest turnover of clients, and it's not a coincidence that one-to-one PT is probably where people keep people the longest, because they're just basically training and having conversations, like really connecting, because you and them. And then you've got the small group stuff and the bootcamp stuff where, they'll stay for ages as well, because we're all part of a team, we're all part of a community. But the online stuff, if you're just delivering the programs and the sessions, and maybe you're doing check-ins with them through forms, there's no community. And that's why they'll leave quicker. That's why the turnover on the PT is higher. But you can bring that down by the things that Josh just said there, like create that community, buddy people up, get on group coaching calls together, because you're still delivering the same method, you're still delivering the same philosophy of training, and get the people together. It could just be something as simple as every month you get all your online clients onto a Zoom call, share your wins for the month, share your biggest lessons for the month, just general conversation, and people can help each other out in the Zoom call as well.
Yeah, and encourage it as well. Like if people are sharing wins, like get everyone to jump off mute for 3 seconds and give them a round of applause.
Yep.
You could even, like on a more chilled scale, you could do like quiz nights and stuff like that too, just as more ideas for you. You can do like a quiz night. I remember during lockdown, we did one that was like I can't remember the name of it, but it was something like someone would suggest an item of clothing to get, and you would run away, and then they come back and they'd have it on, and you got to get this as well. And it was just a whole speed challenge in that, but it was such a laugh, and we made a little video of it. And obviously every time we do these things, we would share it. You know, yes, it's part of the group and only people in the group do it, but we also want people to see it. You know, so when people think of our business, they think of like these elements that we spoke about, like the fun, the environment, the enjoyment, the fulfillment, the importance. So when people look at it or they want to share it with friends, because if they've had a good time, they're going to talk about it. Then people are like, oh, this looks amazing. This looks so fun. And again, that then helps grow and grow and grow. Yeah,
I think one of the best businesses that's done that probably over the last 10 years is like the CrossFit community. They're one of the ones who've done that really well, where the whole world was like connecting through scores and sharing videos of, like, say some guy who's a bit overweight would join CrossFit, excuse me, and everybody supports him. He probably felt really scared to show up because a lot of the CrossFit athletes look really in shape because they've done it long enough. But you still see people who are quite normal and average going there, and they're a bit overweight, but they're getting super support off of these people who they might think, I bet that guy's a bit of a dick. You know what I mean? He's not. I think for me, I noticed that years about CrossFit. I think it's one of the ones that stand out is like they made a real effort to connect the whole world almost who wanted to train. Obviously, people have got their own opinions about what CrossFit is as a exercise thing, but we're not talking about that. But the community aspect of it, mate, is like unbelievable.
That's
scoreboards that the whole world can have a bit of friendly competition and compete in, and no matter what size you get an extra support off the other guys and girls in the group.
Yeah, or like, again, I've never done CrossFit, but it's almost like they have like a set workout in times, and every CrossFit facility over the, the world does that workout. So you feel like everyone's doing the workout, and there's a time into the workout. There's so many different pieces to it. And it's like, everyone's got their own opinion on CrossFit and how they train, but no one can deny the community and that sense of purpose. And I think that's essentially what people crave, and that's what people want. When you are a busy mum or a busy professional or someone there looking to make a positive change, like, you want to meet people, you want to make friends. You, like, the amount of times we've signed up people for the gym that like have moved to the area by themselves, don't have a partner, don't have kids, and they are just sitting in the house and working. So for them, they want to meet people. They want to be in an environment where they can feel safe and not have to worry about judgment and all these things. So when you are building your business and you're looking at growing it and moving things forward, you need to take all these things into consideration, because that's the foundations for a successful business and community.
Let's leave with maybe 3 things that somebody who feels they don't have a great community right now, what 3 things could they do, like, quite easily to put in place? Like, obviously the WhatsApp group would be number 1. So you might be a coach of a one-to-one coach, a small group PT coach, but you do a bit online. Bring all your clients together. Doesn't matter if they're doing different things. Doesn't matter if one's an online client, one's a boot camp client, or one's in the gym. It doesn't matter. The community is the same. Just because they show up to the gym and the other ones go and do their own thing, it's your training methods, it's your vision, it's your thing. Bring them all together, and that's how you've got the first step towards having a community, because then you can put stuff in the chat every day and get people sharing the stuff that's going to motivate each other. And I would start with a WhatsApp group as number 1, or a Facebook group if you're not comfortable giving lots of people your number. But
second one I would say is do some kind of get together, whether it be on Zoom or in person, ideally in person if possible. But do it especially if it's the first one, do it almost like to get to know each other better. So you start, you are the coach, you are the kind of leader of this thing. So, if you can open up and even explain to people why you started the business and, some of the struggles you've faced in the past as well, like people are going to feel that and they're going to feel safe enough to open up as well. And they'll get to know you better. So the trust will build there, and then everyone around there can kind of explain certain things, and you can do a bit of Q&A and you can help each other out. But like that's going to really make people get closer together. And that's essentially what community is. You're getting people closer together.
Yep. I think the third one, kind of similar to that, but in a fitness sense, something like a Tough Mudder.
Yeah, like some challenge.
Yeah, mate, because what I know through experience of being in the Marines and football teams, and you've been in football teams, when you're putting kind of tougher situations together as well, and you get through it together, you definitely feel like more a community.
Yeah.
So fitness challenges are good. They don't have to be extreme. Like, everybody can do Tough Mudder. I've seen all shapes and sizes doing Tough Mudder. You don't need to be the winner of Tough Mudder to enjoy it and feel like a team. You all help each other through it. So doing a kind of fitness style event together as a group will definitely bring you together. That's why the military is what it is, and it creates such like
bonds.
Bonds with people, because the stuff you go through, it doesn't need to be as insane as I'm not a soldier, but finding a fitness event that kind of suits everybody in the group and getting through that together is like a really, really good one.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll wrap it up there for today. But if you do have any further questions on this, just drop us a DM, send us a message. We'll be happy to help. But there's more than enough kind of tools to get you started and even just add elements into your business already to take things forward.
Yep. Have a good one.
Thank you.